Sup, it's Coco and welcome to my first studio vlog. I thought it would be useful to document my experience with running a small shop with barely a following, as I'll show on the screen here, and show that you can do it too. Currently, at the time of filming this, it is the winter holidays, so I'll be showing footage of my family trip up to Manchester, as that's where I get my mugs and coasters made. I can't lie, I'm feeling really awkward making this video and wonder if I'll ever release it because it's nerve-wracking displaying what you're doing and where you've been in video format instead of, drawing silly little pictures. I guess it feels more real and personal, which is also the goal. I currently run my shop out of my tiny rented bedroom since I am a university student. I sell stickers, art prints, mugs, coasters, and recently, keychains! If you don't have a big following like myself but want to try dabbling in selling your art or whatever other handmade products you have, I highly recommend Etsy. It's what I'm currently using at the moment, and while they've got a 6.5% seller's fee that I think a lot of Etsy sellers have been complaining about, I think it's still a really good first place to start. Of course, I encourage you to research which platform you'd like to sell on because different people have different needs. As a uni student who does not have the time to sort out things like VAT and marketing, Etsy really helps out with that since it's got its own search engine, so it brings an audience to you. I thought it would be useful if I tried to make a series of videos showcasing what I do and all that fun stuff because, one, I absolutely love studio vlogs because you get to see how other people do things, and it's great insight into figuring out what to do with your business. 2, documenting my journey through this would give me a way, personally, to see my growth and for other people to do that too. And since it's been a year, I feel like it has been enough time for me to know, the basics on what I'm doing, but not long enough that I'm fully experienced. And 3, I feel like there's just not a lot of studio vlogs, at least from what I have found, that are from part-time artists. I always end up seeing these big or small businesses being able to spend so much time and effort into their passions, when that's just unrealistic for me and a lot of people who are just starting out or have other commitments. I feel like we seem to forget that it's their full-time job, and that's just not the case for us. And I still struggle with task allocation, and I don't have a niche, and I'd like to say take your time and not to rush it. Do as I say and not as I do. It doesn't need to be perfect, and I am definitely so far from it, but I do try my best with what I have, which isn't a lot. I literally have a 120 by 40 by 40 flat pack shelf in my room, filled to the brim with all my shop stuff. It is so unaesthetic, but it gets the job done, and it's easy to take apart as I've been moving basically every year because of uni. Since it's the winter holidays, let's go take a look at my trip. I admit, I'm lucky I have family working in the photo printing business so I can get my coasters and mugs made. But you don't need a big variety of products to start. Most shops flourish selling only one type of product, like stickers or keychains, and especially if your shop is small, start small. That way you can gauge what works and doesn't. I didn't do that, and arguably, it is why my shop is so full of crap.
Okay, let's get on to the video now.
I am clearly in the backseat, and I feel so car sick. It is actually freezing, so I'm not going outside. New designs made. I've got this one and this one and this one, and hopefully people will like them. And also we're restocking these 3 because those sold out pretty quickly. And we did do a print, but that happened and there's a bunch of lines, so we're gonna clean the printer now. Okay, print 2. It looks so much better now after we've done the clean. So I think we'll be ready to, if we can look in the comparison, that's what it was before, that's what it is now. I'm going to cut these out, stick them on the coasters, and then we're going to heat press them. We've printed out all of the sheets, and I've ended up getting my dad to help me cut out all of the stuff, which we will now stick onto the coaster so we can put it in the heat press. So
you can use the temperature to control the color. Yeah,
some of them came out a bit overbaked, which is they don't look bad, but
200, 250, do a 260. You get a whole series.
we're all a bit tired now, so we have opted for dinner at this place. It's a new place apparently. So we're gonna have dinner and then we will come back to the shop tomorrow and hopefully we'll get it sorted. When you're the only vegetarian in the family, so you get your own egg. Got yum yums! Hehe, this is my breakfast. Very healthy. Okay, so let's go through all of the things that went wrong yesterday. The first thing that happened was that the sublimation printing, I thought it would be better to put 6 images on a piece of paper, but then that meant that the images got a bit clipped. I didn't really realize how clipped it was until I actually pressed the coasters and realized that there was a border around some of them, or more of like just like one of the sides wasn't actually printed right. And afterwards we find out that the press, we had to turn it off and on again, but then we forgot to set the temperature on it, and instead of putting it at 200 degrees, it went at 250, which you would have seen in the previous clip. Because I was busy printing while aligning the coasters at the same time, I was really just multitasking and not really paying attention. And because we've obviously just traveled that day as well, I feel like we were a bit tired, so we messed up a little bit more. We ended up finishing off yesterday with aligning more of the coasters with the print, and today we're going to be pressing some more. It is currently 11-ish, and hopefully we'll get in around 12. It shouldn't take too long considering we've already aligned the coasters. It's a bit hectic. It is New Year's Eve today, so we do need to finish up early because while it is family that is helping me, obviously I don't want to waste their time on my shop stuff. Well, I don't want to go outside anymore.
So you stay at home?
No, I need to go on to work. Back to the shop to do some work. Oh, so I didn't say earlier on, but the shop is in St. Anne's Arcade in Manchester. It's called Advanced Photo. Wait, what is it? If you use film cameras and you want to get it processed and you're in Manchester, this is the place to go. You get to film in here and show around the stuff. I'm not very good at filming. I don't know why I'm doing this. But good morning. I have so many of these defects where they've just got these little bits that are just got cut off. And these two are the new coaster designs. The lighting is really not helpful here, but these are the two coaster designs. They're a little bit muted. I'm pretty sure you can tell. So we're gonna up the saturation on them. I can't speak. Up the saturation on them. And we've got a couple piles here and there of stuff we've got to press today. Just did the another print. This is the new one. It's still not bright enough as I want it to be, and I think this looks so much nicer than this one, so I'm gonna keep with this one. So we've just finished making the coasters. We've got these new ones. Really excited about these. I think these turn out really well. Production has ended and it is now 1:30, I think. Oh, it's not even 1:30. It's only 1:10. We can finish up and have New Year's Eve. I'm gonna take this back to.
肚子饿了，
I've got
我肚子
footage
饿
of.
会
Oh,
会
really?
我有时候会这样的，
你知道吗？
吃饱了之后可以了。
哈
你肚子饿，你很累啊，一直啊气啊气。
Wow.
They call it vasomotorrhinitis.
But yeah. Big-
Oh,
Oh,
you better go and eat before your dad sneezes his lungs off.
Dun, 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 dun. Yo! How is she still asleep? No idea.
哎呀，现在我们来一个。
We're going back to
出烟花，出烟花。
so we're going to the travel lodge for why do I keep saying Chinese New Year? We're going back to the travel lodge for New Year's Eve, which is the most
看烟花，爸爸。
which is the most eventful way
看烟花，
to spend
爸
the
爸要看
New Year. So this is how we're spending our New
怎
Year's.
么按年这样看烟花？
Happy New Year! Wow! I think I just ruined that footage. So I wanted to start to take my time talking about these coasters. As you can see, a lot of these were made. These were really good to sell when they first got released, and they are really nice coasters. However, because of the amount of black that is used in it, I feel like it would be really difficult to get this consistent all the time. I found that I had to make a lot of these. I was originally supposed to restock 12, but this is definitely a lot more than 12. and that is due to the sheer amount of defects that came with printing a color like this and a design like this. As you can see, a lot of defects on this side, and that is partially my fault in the designing process for having the text so big and close to the edge, and I could edit it. Sometimes even just printing the color alone can be quite grainy, as you can see with these. I'm going to price these as C grades. I'm gonna put them online as a set of 4. Let me know if I should continue making these after I sell these out, because I am unsure. So I'm gonna sit here and continue to filter out the defects. As you saw, I was filtering out coasters that are not up to my personal standard, but it's definitely still sellable. For example, where there's a bit of discoloration, they would still be fine. Sometimes, you know, these look perfectly fine. They're just not to the color that I want it to be. Same goes here. These ones too. I mean, they're completely usable, and they kind of look intentional, to be honest. Just unfortunately, it wasn't an, an intentional feat of mine. So I will be putting these up on my shop. I will be updating that. I'll get these product photos for these coasters done in the next couple of days, hopefully. I forgot about these ones too. These are some old coasters of mine that I'm planning on never ever restocking, considering they've taken so long. They're not very popular. But hopefully there's still 1 set and 2 more, or